Eric Clapton, the guitar legend whose tunes have touched hearts worldwide. On stage, his guitar riffs have moved audiences. But what if I told you that behind the music lies a story of sorrow so deep it could change your perception of him? Today, we delve into the truth as Eric Clapton finally confirms a tragic reality. Throughout his career, Clapton has become a music icon, winning awards and fans' hearts. Yet there's a hidden side to his story. What could Clapton reveal that challenges how we see him? Let's dive into his tale and uncover the real story behind the melodies. Imagine growing up thinking everything's normal, just your average family with parents and siblings. Then, wham! Your whole world gets flipped upside down. That's exactly what happened to young Eric Clapton. He was just a preteen when his family dropped the bombshell that his parents are actually his grandparents and his sister is his real mom. Turns out Eric's mom, Patricia, got pregnant with him at 16 after a chance encounter with a Canadian soldier named Edward Fryer during World War II. Sadly, Eric never got to meet his dad, who passed away in '85. Fryer, a bit of a wandering soul, ended up playing piano in bars after his military service. This revelation hit Eric hard, shaping his personality and even affecting his grades. No surprises there, right? I mean, imagine finding out your whole family dynamic is a giant secret. It's like something out of a movie. And for Eric Clapton, it wasn't just a minor hiccup, it totally rocked his world. Bob Gullah, in his book on guitar legends, paints a picture of Eric as this introverted, quiet kid. But boy, did things change after he learned the truth. Suddenly, he became moody, distant, and his grades took a nosedive. But amidst all this turmoil, one thing remained constant: Eric's love for art. At just 13, he was spellbound by Jerry Lee Lewis tearing up the piano on TV. So what does he do? He asked for a guitar for his birthday. Naturally. Now it wasn't all smooth sailing. Learning to play was like navigating a minefield. It was tough and painful. But with determination fueled by a newfound passion for blues music, Eric kept at it. And guess what? Before you know it, he's shredding those strings like a pro. So, as Eric Clapton's guitar skills soared, his interest in art school plummeted. Bob Gullah paints a picture of a guy who's just not into it anymore, turning in less and less work until they finally give him the boot. But who needs art school when you're on the path to rock stardom, right? By day, he's working for his grandpa, paying the bills like a responsible adult. But by night, he's living the dream, jamming with a band. His first gig with the Roosters didn't last long, but it was a start. Then, fate intervened when he bumped into an old buddy from art school, Keith Relf. That led to conversations with Paul Samwell Smith, another blues fanatic. Before you know it, Eric's in the Yardbirds, a band that's like the Rolling Stones on steroids. I mean, they even played at the same club the Stones did. But it wasn't until he joined the Blues Breakers that the world really took notice. This guy was a guitar god in the making. And then came Cream. Ever heard of them? Of course you have. They were huge. I'm talking worldwide phenomenon huge. And that Clapton is God graffiti, that wasn't just vandalism. It was a prophecy. But fame has its price, right? And for Clapton, it came in the form of heroin. Yep, you heard that right. As his star rose, so did his addiction. And just when you think things can't get messier, he falls for his buddy George Harrison's wife, Patty Boyd. The tension was so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Boyd even spilled the tea, later revealing how Clapton drunkenly confessed his love to Harrison. Can you imagine? Needless to say, it didn't end well. Clapton spent years battling addiction while Harrison and Boyd held on to their marriage for dear life. While George Harrison was out there allegedly stepping out on his marriage to Patty Boyd, Eric Clapton was battling some serious demons of his own. According to the Telegraph, Boyd rejected Clapton initially because of his heroin addiction. But just as Boyd's marriage with Harrison hit the rocks, Clapton decided to clean up his act. With Harrison practically out the door, Boyd and Clapton ended up together. Clapton's newfound sobriety wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Sure, he kicked the heroin, but he replaced it with a 2 bottles of brandy a day habit. And as if that wasn't enough, both of them wanted kids, but couldn't have any. Then came the bombshell. Clapton had not one, but 2 affairs. One with Italian model Lori Del Santo, who ended up pregnant with his son, Connor. The other with a studio assistant who bore his daughter, Ruth. No wonder Boyd hit the road and found herself a new career. But wait, there's more. Clapton's substance abuse was off the charts. NPR reports he was shelling out a cool $16,000 a week on heroin. And even after he swapped the needle for the bottle, his alcohol and cocaine binges were out of control. There was even a time he was so wasted on stage he performed lying down. Can you imagine? But then, in a plot twist worthy of a Hollywood movie, everything changed when Clapton became a dad. Suddenly he had this tiny human depending on him, and he didn't want his son to see him drunk. So he did the unthinkable. He sobered up. Yep, checked himself into rehab and never looked back. So, just when Clapton found a glimmer of hope in his recovery, tragedy struck with devastating force. In 1991, the unthinkable happened. Connor, his 4-year-old son, dashed past a housekeeper, slipped through an open window, and tragically fell 49 stories to his death. Clapton was in New York at the time, having taken Connor to the circus just the night before. He recalled in his autobiography the surreal walk down Park Avenue, desperately trying to convince himself that everything was okay. But how can one ever be okay after such a loss? Even after identifying Connor's lifeless body among the chaos, disbelief lingered like a dark cloud. Understandably, Clapton was shattered by this unimaginable loss. His grief found solace in music, giving birth to one of his most haunting and poignant pieces, Tears in Heaven. As he grappled with this immense pain, another revelation emerged. Clapton's secret daughter, Ruth, whom he had been kept away from until then, was allowed to form a relationship with him in the wake of Connor's passing. Despite the tumultuous journey marked by rocky relationships, addiction, and unspeakable loss, Clapton's life took a turn for the better in the following years. Since 2002, he's found happiness in his marriage to Melia McInerney, an American woman. Their life together has been blessed with 3 daughters, ushering Clapton into the role of a contented family man. And in 2013, he embraced the title of grandpa when his eldest daughter, Ruth, welcomed little Isaac Eric Owen Bartlett into the world. Despite finding stability in his family life, Eric Clapton has recently faced health challenges that he once managed to avoid. In 2016, he disclosed to the public his diagnosis of peripheral neuropathy, dubbed by The Guardian as the musician's nightmare, characterized by numbness, shooting pains, and impaired coordination. Unlike most musicians who suffer from this condition in their hands, Clapton experienced it in his legs, leading to speculation that it may be linked to years of alcohol abuse rather than the physical strain of performing. Adding to his health woes, a 2018 Time magazine article revealed that Clapton was also grappling with hearing loss, a common affliction among seasoned musicians. Despite the grim prognosis, Clapton maintains a realistic outlook on his future, acknowledging that his condition may not improve. But Clapton's journey hasn't been without its public missteps and regrets. Long before his redemption, he found himself at rock bottom, quite literally, during a fateful 1976 concert in Birmingham, England. In a shameful display of drunkenness, he unleashed a racist and xenophobic tirade, shocking both fans and critics alike. The fallout from this ugly incident spurred the Rock Against Racism movement, a testament to the impact of his words. Today, Clapton acknowledges the disgrace of his past behavior, expressing deep remorse for his abhorrent outburst. He's owned up to his past mistakes, publicly apologizing multiple times over the years. Reflecting on his former self, Clapton confessed to Rolling Stone, I just have to face the guy that I became when I was fueled on drugs and alcohol. It's incomprehensible to me, in a way, that I got so far out. So what's your take on Eric Clapton's journey? Share your thoughts in the comment down below.